When we talk about brainwaves or brainwave frequency, how would you explain those to someone without a neuroscience background?
You can experience them, and you can use the brainwave metaphor as a metaphor pictorially, thinking about waves, classical waves and ocean waves and sound waves, music, and you can develop a sense of correspondence between the kind of waves you're familiar with and the kind of moods you have. And that's pretty good, actually. You don't have to be too electrical and electroencephalographic about it. And those are kind of packed technical concepts, but they boil down to some you know, simple observations, really. So I would say the direct answer is understand your rhythms of life and make a correspondence with the words we use for brain rhythms. So you don't really need to. So you don't need to say alpha and delta and beta and all that stuff. But you do need to understand there's a rhythm to anxiety, there's a rhythm to sleepiness, rhythm to calmness, and maybe there are rhythms to other complicated things like love and trauma and, fill in the blank. Anything that's dominant could be decomposed into a bunch of rhythms. So another good metaphor is music. What music enervates you? What music sedates you? What music do you like? What music have you had enough of? And why? Some of it's experience. I used to love to listen to Telemann flute, whatever they were, concertos or something. When I was 5, I always wanted them to be put on to go to sleep. And now I can't stand listening to them. It's like annoying. So that changed. I spent a decade playing classical guitar, and I like that, but I don't have much patience for it anymore. It transmuted into something more, but it's still a question of rhythm and melody and frequency. And anyone can understand that there are frequencies that are calming and others that are make you jump out of your skin. Partly it's frequency in like sound frequency, and other times it's frequency in like calmness and confidence. That's a frequency too. So that's how I would try to get to it. I would start talking about meaningful experiences and how they relate to brain frequencies. And then maybe I'd talk about training brain frequencies, which is a interesting way of approaching your emotions because it doesn't involve emotions. It just involves, it's kind of like meditation or mindfulness, becoming aware of your attention absent the issues that you're thinking about. Just, how to be calm, how to fall asleep, how to wake up. So that's to avoid the technicalities of alpha, beta, gamma, and delta for most people. But there are some do-it-yourself devices, brain headsets, neurofeedback, that you can actually see those brain frequencies and start to make them useful as tools. But usually that's a kind of pretty big stretch. At the end of this conversation, my offer is to sell at a discount of $5 my mini course, which is a pre-recorded series of videos on brain frequencies, in which I try to explain this at greater length. So, there is a way into it. That's how I answer your question.
So, I'm going to just reflect something here for our listeners. Your brain is always producing these, it always has electrical activity. These patterns show up as different frequencies, which are often referred to as brain waves. Those slower waves tend to support rest and integration, and faster waves support alertness and focus. Neurofeedback works by showing the brain what it's doing in real time and allowing it to learn through the feedback how to shift toward greater balance. It doesn't force the brain, but it invites it to learn. Lincoln, how do you explain neurofeedback to clients who feel intimidated or unsure?
Well,